Welcome to Think Big with Dan and Qasim. Join hosts Dan Melnick and Qasim Masood as they explore big ideas, limitless possibilities, and engage with visionaries, entrepreneurs, and thought leaders who dare to dream big, get inspired, motivated, and find practical tips for personal growth. Think big, dream bigger, and ignite your potential.
Welcome to Think Big with Dan and Qasim, and our guest today is David. So David, if you want to go ahead and introduce yourself, tell us where you live and what you do.
Hey, good morning. I am David Duguan. I am the founder and CEO of BinaryTent, and we just released Aurora. Aurora is our assistant that's powered by an AI that allows you to answer up to 1,000 phone calls at once and enhance your customer experience and customer service. Yeah, that's about it. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, of course. So I'm always curious about this. Like, what inspired you to actually start this business?
So BinaryTent has had different renditions. Initially started off as Agile Works a few years, but like 3 years back. Then I went to Veriston, supposed to partner with one of my friends, and then to do some MBE work. And then finally it transitioned to BinaryTent. But Aurora came out about a few months ago, and what actually inspired that. So I was working at a startup in Charlotte, and we were wanting to scale, had a whole bunch of leads, but no one was able to give them a call. So was planning on going the traditional route and just getting it on via Indeed and so on and so forth. But I kind of Frankensteined a little Frankenstein model of Aurora together and tested it with a partner at the time. And yeah, it worked. And that's how we came up with Aurora. But it's then been through so many different iterations and it's picked up this different ethos, logos. So yeah, it's kind of the whole story of how Aurora was made.
Awesome. So are you like an engineer yourself? Like, how did you build the product?
So I used a combination of a few different things. I am not too technical. I did use some code, but majority of it was done using like low code platform. Yeah.
Awesome. That's cool. Yeah. I mean, it's awesome. Like with technology in 2024, like how you can build something as high level as a product and not, use any tons of code or low code, things like that. So I'm curious in terms of your current, go to market, like who is an ideal customer and how are you kind of getting in front of those customers?
Yeah. So the people that we want to help the most are mainly the small size business owners, like entrepreneurs, franchisees. Those are our ideal clients. That's the people that we really target and want to help out a lot. And our go-to-market is to really provide services for those people and finding where those people hang out and providing services there. Yeah.
Awesome. So can you just talk more about the flow, right? So if somebody's using your product and they have it, like, what does it look like? So do they call in, kind of like what that process looks like?
Yeah. So the whole goal in mind and the whole thing that we've been really, pushing to make it as streamlined, as seamless as possible. We want that for every user that picks up the phone and calls Aurora, that they are little shocked, and they're shocked in a good way, in the sense of like they can't even tell that it's a robot. Like mentally they know there's a robot, but they're shocked that it's a robot that they're speaking to because it's so good and it's indistinguishable from so essentially the process, they pick it up, they call a regular phone number as they usually do, but instead of now being tied into we call it the 9 layers of customer service hell. When you press 1 for this, press 2 for that, press 3. We don't want them to be tied in that cycle anymore. So now when they pick up the phone, they're able to just talk to like they're talking to an agent, and able to get whatever they need. So that's the goal of it, and that's the whole process. Super seamless. You're talking to a friend, essentially.
No, 100%. Yeah, like I had a small business before. It was like an e-commerce store, and it's just like I was doing all the customer service myself. And if I had a tool like that, that would add so much value because, to like sit there and like hope that you're are like around when somebody calls, or even for somebody who has like a service-based business. So if they're like doing landscaping, for example, it's hard for them to answer the phone while they're out in the field working. So
right, 1,000%, and that's the main person that we're targeting. We're creating this for those people that they have few different employees. They have a lot of different things going on. Phone calls is coming in, but there's so much different things to do. But sometimes they hire assistant. Assistant comes in, is able to help out. but they're still swamped. We created this tool that just handles that phone calls that you're able to focus on the more important things in your business. That's the whole ideal, and the whole mantra is to really help you focus on what really matters and let us handle the boring stuff, let's say.
100%. So yeah, I mean, obviously, like in America, or even like globally, there's lots of different languages. So are you kind of looking to add other languages, or is like if people come to you and say, hey, like, can you add Spanish, things like that?
100,000%. Right now, Aurora is able to speak up to like 50 different languages,
Wow.
and it's definitely been a mantra. I'm originally born and raised in Ghana, so having that specific, key to it is important. There's also a whole bunch of different things that have been embedded as part of my personal journey. Being able to born and raised in Ghana, picking up hospitality cues and tips. All of those different things have embedded to give really just stress in that sense of getting actual help. And yeah, I think it's really important. Yeah.
Hey y'all, it's Dan Melnick, the CEO of Zing, and I wanted to share a special offer for all of our listeners. Right now, if you need software development services, we'll give you 2 weeks of a free trial. Do you need to update your website? Do you want to build a mobile app? Do you want to update something that you've been working on for a long time? We've worked in a high-level technologies like AI, machine learning, blockchain. So shoot me a text, 817-874-2208. Thank you.
I think that's awesome. Yeah, I think especially in like if it can be like, bilingual or multilingual, especially in 2024, you have like a lot of people that can call in, and especially, I've seen many people here that just speak Spanish here in Austin. So it would really help
Yeah.
if they can just call and speak in Spanish and then get their problem resolved.
100,000%. That's the goal. That anyone, if you're able to pick it up and speak whatever dialect, you're able to help you out and get those resolution to you as soon as possible, as streamlined as possible.
Awesome. So what would you say is like the biggest challenge that you currently face in the business?
So I think this probably will be like a something that a lot of founders that lay more on the technical side probably endure, is not paying attention to the marketing and getting it out there. I will say that the marketing has been letting people being aware of what we do and the product that we have has been definitely one of the challenges that we're currently enduring. But it's not something that's making us like stay stagnant or whatever you want to say. But it's fun. I like it. It's very stimulating. It's really enticing to learn about how like the human brain thinks in terms of like psychology, and help out, and how to create information or marketing materials that's able to hit their psyche. And sometimes just even going like with the basic avenue, or just doing regular marketing instead of like doing what's popular, like ads, so on and so forth. But yeah, definitely. I would say definitely just marketing right now, but it's fun. It's a fun challenge, I would say. Exciting.
So when you say regular marketing and not ads, like what do you kind of do? Like what do you have in mind in terms of like that strategy?
Yeah, so like ads will probably like what comes to mind whenever people this right now, like 2024, ads is usually what people tend to it does work, but we want to try the more traditional route. We've seen that our product is in a space where it's fairly new. We're pioneers in this specific industry, and we want to go down the avenue of just like regular advertising, like meeting people in person, telling people in person about it, having people try it, and going down that specific route. So yeah.
Yeah, for sure. It's always good to try these different avenues. I think to your point, ads are good, but I've seen many entrepreneurs like they go down this route of it, saying that they have to run ads and they spend way too much money.
Yeah.
And then it's just burning and it doesn't really convert, right? So it's understanding kind of like what is the best way to kind of reach people and grow in a cost-effective way that makes sense for your business. So what would you say is like the one biggest piece of advice that you wish you knew before you got started?
The one biggest piece of advice that I wish I would knew is definitely focus on distribution in the beginning, even more so than the product, especially for people that lay more on the technical hand. Focusing more on distribution, how to get it out there, how to create channel partnerships, how to get in like thought leaders, people that are able to actually help in making introductions to people. That's definitely what I would say focus on 100%. And also the structure and the infrastructure of like the team that you're going to build. Because essentially when you're kind of building like a home and a house, and you want to make sure that your core infrastructure is very key. And the people that you bring in early on will definitely have a big big undertaking in shaping the culture of the company that you work
100%.
with, and and how work it gets done. So yeah, definitely those two things. Infrastructure and bringing people on, and also distribution. Those two things for sure.
100%. So if we're going to have this conversation again in 1 year from now, where do you see things going for your business?
It's a great question. A year from now, I want to going to fully penetrate a few different markets. Definitely starting, we're our target service-based industries, but definitely starting with a lot of cleaning services, and then also penetrate the medical field, provide a lot of value there, and then also possibly going into like the automotives and creating an system for automotives. Hopefully nobody steals like that, but yeah, that's the goal. That's the goal, is to penetrate different markets.
For sure. Yeah. It's good to be like very like focused on a certain market and double down, understand kind of how you can best serve them. Because yeah, I mean, your product is fantastic. There's so many different possibilities there. So if somebody watching this was interested in using your product or wanted to get in contact with you, what's the best way for them to reach out?
It's a great question. So you can call my personal Aurora, or you can visit BinaryTent at www.binarytent.com and call Aurora there at 463-223-4383. And my personal Aurora is 463-285. Hold on, let me get the other last four number. So mine is 463-285-8925. And then you're able to book a meeting with me using my personal Aurora. So yeah, that's it. That's how to reach out to me.
Awesome. Well, David, thanks so much for your time today.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you, Dan. It's pretty cool.
Thank you.